Hello, 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 Tuna. How you doing today? You'll never guess what I've been playing. I had no idea. I couldn't possibly guess. No guesses in my mind. Certainly nothing with Greek gods, for sure. Hades 2. Your emote is broken. Oh, why is it show on there but not on that? That's weird. Little hard eyes? Weird. I don't know why it broke there. Strange. We have a problem though, okay? I bought Hades 2 when it was on sale. I just haven't gotten around to playing it yet. Maybe soon. Apparently all my friends are gonna go back to League of Legends and I can't do it. So maybe I'll just play that. If you look at the main character of Hades 2, I don't know how to pronounce her name. You'll notice a strange resemblance that she is one of your own characters. The Arcane Siphoner. Oh yeah, she's got the spectral arm. We ripped him off. Melino. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce that. Yeah, no, she definitely has the little spectral arm with the bone in it. You can see through her arm. She seems cool though. Definitely want to play it. Maybe I don't know, we'll see. I was about to say maybe I'll give it a shot like today or something, but probably not. Because I have, first of all, hello. I have this today, and then after stream I think I'm gonna be going there's a local convention that I'm that I went to yesterday, but I got a weekend pass, so I might go again. It's just like a little trade show thing, but it's like, or not trade show, but I don't know what to call it, but I don't know, just a lot of vendors and stuff, but it's fun. So might go back. They actually have like one of the, like an indie TCG group that I've heard of. I don't know how like small they really are. Just something I wanted to look up, but Shard Bugs TCG. I'm pretty sure they're, so I'm just looking up something now. I'm pretty sure they're small enough to be on, I thought they were on the HTCG people group, but I can't remember. Either way, I think they had a Kickstarter and whatnot, but oh yeah, we need to talk about the Thursday playtest. Yeah, we got some yapping to do first before we do anything, but let's see. Let's go here. Let's just do this. God, I don't know why my throat is all weird now. Let's do this pirate software style. We'll do pirate software. Yeah, that's his name. Sorry, I forgot his name for a second. We'll do I hope I'm not getting sick. All of a sudden I'm like, my voice is I'm losing my voice. Weird. We'll write it all out. Let me actually grab my notes real quick. Okay. So honestly, the Thursday playtest, I think it was good. I'm very happy I went. I think it was good to test the game with other people. Technically, their reviews of the game were okay. We'll just put it that way. I'm gonna be honest, I don't fully remember their names because I'm very bad at remembering people's names. But also we won't say their name because of for reasons of not doxing them as well, because who knows how they feel about using their real names. So let's just call them just player 1, P1, and P2. So you write an R, P2. There's only really 2 people who showed up, who were just the people who hosted the event, so it wasn't really that many. There was a 3rd guy who also showed up. He showed up a little bit later, and he mostly just watched the game. But he was cool. They're all very, very cool people. Very happy that they agreed to playtest my game. The biggest issue is the game went long. Zach, Brian, and Cody. Okay, P1 we'll call Brian. I'm trying to decide who I want to call who. Player 1, sure. Sure, Brian. Zach. And then Observer, we will call Cody. Poor Cody. Cody actually was really cool. He like just hung out and watched, but he's like, yeah, this is like, you know, when you watch your siblings play a video game. It's just fun to watch, you know. Yeah, he was cool. He like constantly had like cool like interjections and stuff, like, oh, is this way, or like whatever, like helping just like, you know, yeah, good commentary. So definitely liked. They're all cool people. Brian's review of the game, so this is out of 10. So this is like, we played the game and then I have their reactions, and I'll kind of go through the game as as we through like the lens of these questions, right? So his review was a 5 or 6, well, 5 or 6 out of 10. Which is not that great, right? I mean, it's average. That is an average game. I would say usually people generally, I mean, I don't know what kind of rater he is, whether that is a, like 5 is truly average. He said he didn't necessarily play at many games like this. The closest thing he could compare it to was Slay the Spire, which I think is a decent comparison. But it's kind of like playing Slay the Spire with none of the agency of what cards you have and stuff like that, right? Also keep in mind this is them rating their first time experience. It's true, I agree with that, but I also feel like you have one shot for people to like try a game, right? Generally, like if they play the game and they don't enjoy it the first time, then you might not have another chance for them to play it again. So you probably want that number to be higher. I'm not like offended by it either, because like the game's not done, right? Let me just put this for context. Game went about it was like 1.5 to 2 hours, so it's pretty long, a pretty long game. So that is interesting. Zach's review was a 7 out of 10. So that's better. This is usually what I get for the game, to be fair. Usually most people give me about a 7 out of 10. I don't know if that's necessarily just being nice or what, but yeah. Yes, the distinction is just that this suggests new player experience could be better. Yeah, Tebow mentioned that as well. In the Discord, which I thought was a good way. Not necessarily that the game itself is mid, true. Did Zach have previous experiences with games like these? That's a good question. I don't know exactly. He seemed like he had more with them, as for sure. Brian seemed like he did a lot of like TTRPG kind of stuff, like was his main thing, and then Zach seemed like more kind of all around from what I understood from it. So one thing to kind of like point out, so Brian played God of Destruction, and Zach played Harvest. I don't know exactly whether these are good combos together necessarily. I think they kind of are. But like learning how to play them together wasn't a thing. So one of the things I think that was interesting was like they kind of talked about a little bit like of the curve of enjoyment, right? So Brian, Destruction is definitely a rough one to play for the first time. Yeah, for sure. It's like if you don't understand the game, it's kind of difficult. So Brian's enjoyment went like this. Oh, hold on. Went like this. So it was slowly going up, and then it went down, and then it went up again. That was like his enjoyment curve, right? That's kind of how he felt about the game. Maybe it didn't even go that high at the end, right? Oops. Let's just call it there. You know, that was how he felt about the game. So the first beginning part of the game, it got more and more fun until like he had interesting things going off, and then he had no cards, right? Like the old god kept coming. The old god was brutal. Old god was very brutal. It kept coming back and decimating a lot of their forces, and then he just started to have like he got demoralized by the old god. It kind of just kept coming back and destroying them, and that was I think rough. I wasn't even sure if they were gonna win, but it was a super balanced game, which I think is actually a great thing. I think the fact that the game was like pretty balanced is good. They basically had like no cards left in their deck at the end of the like it was the last turn they could draw cards is the turn it ended. So it was a long game. But yeah, he kind of was having fun at the beginning when he was like first learning to place cards and that kind of stuff, and then it fell off when the old god kind of was just relentless. And then as it went back up to once he sort of got like at the end he got like Witch's Hut and a bunch of the cards that sort of synergize off of that, along with Frozen Woodland. Like he started to get his combo, and then he started to have fun again. But he was demoralized in the middle where he just didn't have any synergies going, and he was kind of just getting crushed mostly, right? Harvest, on the other hand, his enjoyment, I would say, was maybe something more like this. I would say, because early game, it just wasn't going well for him. Part of it, I think, was he just didn't read his base effect on Harvest, placing 3 lands. Because he did that probably like later in the game, like here, right? He did that like, he did his land placement thing late in the game, and then that's when he started to have fun, because he kind of just ramped from there. His power related to how much fun he was having, which makes perfect sense, right? And I think both of them, right? Reason I consider Harvest beginner friendly is lots of effects. Yeah, I think actually part of the reason Destruction was unfriendly is because of everything is dependent on things dying, right? Like, it's a lot of triggered effects, so you don't get a lot of just units when you place a card down. It doesn't have like base unit gen. So yeah, I think that the game, there was a lot of, it was interesting. I mean, it was interesting to see it from both player side. The one other interesting thing is I didn't actually really see their cards. Like, I wasn't sitting next to them looking at the cards in their hand. So I don't actually know if they made like optimum plays and that kind of stuff. I just knew that they were, you know, what they actually played. And I'm like, yeah, that seems like a good call, right? I didn't see their cards in their hand and see like, you know, they probably should have done that. Main effect of Harvest is pretty tough to track, but I do think we changed it. It would be more, but I do think if we changed it, it would be more beginner friendly. Honestly, most of the effects they didn't really have a problem with. Maybe it's because they're experienced like board gamers compared to like a lot of people that I play it with who are just not. But I mean, they understood Whale Hunter for the most part. We had some, you know, Whale Hunter and Bard, which are the 2 most complicated cards in each of those decks. There wasn't much that they didn't really understand, to be honest. I think the thing they understood the least was the Old God, but that's mostly because I was doing most of the work for them. I hate to say this, Tuna. Not really. But I think it's mostly because he wasn't that useful in this game. It's because Zach's cards were too strong, and Whale Hunter kind of just did nothing. Zach had a lot of power on his guys. So Whale Hunter killed like a Shade eventually. And the problem is the Whale Hunter interaction with Shade is kind of confusing, because we don't know who Shade counterattacks when it dies, or when its effect is triggered without it dying, right? So that might be something we need to consider to look at too. He also just thought that maybe it would be better to have Whale Hunter, maybe Whale. I was gonna say, this just looks wrong. Probably because my A looks bad. Whale Hunter. Their biggest critique on it was just, you know, simpler. But that's mostly because the interactions are confusing, right? It just didn't do that much, unfortunately. They liked the art and all that kind of stuff. They thought the art was sick. They're like, oh, look at this guy, you know. There's a lot of the art that they liked. Of course, everyone loved Turtle. Everyone at the table was a fan. including Cody and his daughter when she came by. So everyone was like, I'll die for Turtle, which is, you know, typical. But yeah. What else do I got? Which also might just mean just a reword. I don't know. Or Turtle is always going to be a fan favorite. It's true. Another critique by Brian was that structures just didn't feel powerful. It felt like, from what they are powerful, and I think it might just be a learning thing, but he felt that their setup, this is at first, eventually he got them up, and I think he realized their power, but the setup was not worth the reward. I think we can just have the player decide who gets attacked, because the idea of the death effect is before dying, maybe it follows its attack priority instead of deciding as well. Yeah, so it might just be like, we could change Shade to be like counterattacks, like just makes an attack, right? We could do that. Or just add a stipulation, like if there's no target for its negative death effect, then it attacks. It just makes an attack, right? Like that could just be something we put either in the negative death effect or the base effect, because it doesn't have a base effect, right? Like we can use that to explain it. Could be an option, right? Like we only really got anything out of Shade here. Let's do a new color. Their favorite cards was for Brian was Witch's Hut, and Frozen Woodland. I can't get the text in there. And yeah, least favorite he said was Whale Hunter, unfortunately. Let's see. Zach, on the other hand, favorite was Druid, just because it played so well into the fantasy. I forgot the U. Whatever. And his least favorite was Militia, mostly just because I think he felt like it didn't play, again, it didn't play into the fantasy. Militia. Frozen Willows is one of your favorite too. I think it's just such a good, like, it's just such a good card. It's just kind of cool. Place. The thing is, it has so much adjacent synergy, like we've been talking about before, like about like the old god stuff, right? It has so much adjacent synergy that it's like it can work anywhere, but it's like great in that deck specifically. Like it can work in any deck, but in this deck, it works so well and can work with other players too. Like you can make it so it affects an ally's ability, which is pretty awesome. Um, a few notes I saw personally. Field needs to say your land and not just land, I believe. I believe destruction as well also needs to say something like, that was something he noted. God of Destruction says the wording is a little ambiguous in a sense. They were thinking like it killed your cards. We'll need to look at Destruction's wording. Again. I guess along with the whole structure thing, I think he was talking about mostly Butcher and Waste Haven. One thing I've been thinking about for a very long time too, there are some things that are decent like mechanically, but it just aren't fun. And the biggest one I can think of is so Abyss. Abyss is a bad card to have on your board, right? It draws two. It's basically a battery for other things. Yeah. Abyss is, it draws two cards every turn, which is very scary. So, and a low power level. So in turn, it has a very bad negative death effect. But I think it's just not fun to play. It disables your god. Is there two S's and disables? I don't know, whatever, either way. Kitten, what are you doing? Why are you being so crazy? I think it's just not fun. I think disabling some of your cards is okay, right? We did talk a bit about it, like that having your cards get disabled is less fun than having your cards get destroyed. And I think maybe that's true. I didn't really feel that way though when we were playing against what's it called? Decay against when me and Nez were playing. But having your god disabled, especially kind of against your will, like it's just not fun. Your god effect is such a big part of why the game is fun, so it makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Like it's like your play style is removed, and it's just, I don't mind like things disabling your god, but I think it has to be your choice to disable your god. Like if it's like disable one of your cards and you choose your god, I think that's fine. But what? Tebow, hi. Hello. What's up, Tebow? Welcome in. How you doing? I do think that the mechanics is fine, but maybe needs more, be more conditional. I think it's just so it's a good level, like yeah, mechanically, like the trade-off makes sense, but I think that it's just not fun, and that's okay. Like it's like when you get stunned in a video game and you just can't do anything. You're like, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here, right? Or like if you're playing Baldur's Gate or something like that and you get knocked and you're just waiting for your friends to do shit. It's just not fun. It's just all there is to it. Not being able to play isn't fun. And I think that needs to be fixed. And they had Abyss drawn 3 times because it got drawn twice from on its own, and then Void, what is it called? Void Rift Druid again. Which I also think Void Rift shouldn't be in the base deck of the game. I think it's fine being in other, like it shouldn't be in Null's deck. Null shouldn't have Void Rift. What up, Tebow? How you doing today? Tell me about your life. We're talking about the playtest and how it went. We're doing some reviews. We're talking about how it went. It went okay. I think the experience was great. The reviews were, you know, but yeah, we're trying to talk about this, see what we learned from it. We're doing a lot of yap today, I think, and then probably some drawing afterward. Doing decent. Good. I'm glad decent. Hope your day becomes even more decent. They got abyssed hard. They really did, which is not fun, right? Like having 3 turns where your god's doing nothing is literally half the game, more than half the game. I see text, but seems like you got some nice feedback indeed. Summary: Zach and Brian play tested. Yes, they these are not their real names, but who knows? They play tested Destruction and Harvest. Their reviews were 6 to 5 out of 10 and 7 5 individually. Cody was spectating indeed. What else we got? Yeah, Turtle was a fan favorite. It's always good news. Brian did give me some advice on like there's a few things where he was talking about like I guess a lot of it was on the sort of like Abyss stuff where it's like if you don't want to have like you don't want to stun people forever. You don't want to do that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, we talked about that a lot. Talked about potentially combining stuff, but I think we've honestly done a lot of like combining, like units in general just being one thing is like already that, right? Like we don't have like it being wheat and coal and rock and stone and like people and whatever, right? So do you think it's worth adjusting the new player experience? Probably. It honestly could be a I don't know if we try to make it so Bogotet is like all of like works for 3 different functions, right? But I like, you know, works for single player, an easy experience for 2 player, and a harder experience for 3 player. I don't think that's necessarily what we want to do. I honestly was thinking just like a game where you start specifically with a specific hand, specifically against some enemy cards, like literally like a tutorial. I only thought I was looking at math and got really excited. How pathetic am I? Well, I'm sorry. Welcome in, Bean. We're not doing math, but we are talking about a review of what we did for my in-person playtest. So it was kind of exciting. It was a good time. I haven't done math in a while. There was, let me just finish this up and then we can kind of yap about whatever, but, there was 2 comments on icons. One was that, strength, aka, oh god, STRE. My brain stopped working. I don't know if that's spelled right, but whatever. Strength, when they're not attacking, could be a different color or something. Could be different, right? Like, so a card without an attack order maybe could have a different icon for strength. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. I think part of this was because they did not use the old god. Like, I did most of the playing for them, so they didn't really have the chance to learn. So I think that's really the biggest problem. And the other was the name for units and the icon for it. Units confused with heroes mostly. I think this would have gone better if the chips had the unit icon. I think that's the biggest thing. Because the chips I have to illustrate units are just poker chips. And I think if I have a unit icon on it, it makes it changes how that is. Because like you don't really get that as confused in the tabletop simulator version. So yeah. Me and the boys at 2 a.m. looking for beans. What? I'm thinking you could make a whole new god for the tutorial, and you could have all the monsters and minions be training dummies with different hats. Maybe. I could potentially see that. I mean, that would be good, like if you think of a video game, right? The tutorial, right? It's like, oh yeah, you go against the training thing. That could be a way to do it, for sure. I almost think we could just play the game, like, without having to do extra work. We just curate the deck to be the right... the right order of cards, right? Just like kind of explain to people how to play the game, like actually have a tutorial that you can, I don't know, we'll have to think about it, but sorry, yawn. We'll have to consider it, but yeah, we're definitely going to have to think about it, because I think that is like the biggest disadvantage right now is like, I honestly thought the game felt good. When I started seeing the players get demoralized, that was a little bit bad. I thought like balance wise though, the game was like very back and forth, which I thought was good. I think there was just a point where they felt like they couldn't get through far enough. And that was bad. I don't know. It is interesting. Oh, you look for me? Yes, at 2 a.m. Yes. It's not 2 a.m. right now, though, so not looking for you with the boys. I'm so asleep that time, Tebow. In the fridge, I can... in my can like a good bean. Perfect. I'll send it in the stream chat. Okay. No God. Where am I? In my TCG community. Stream chat. Oh, I'll have to watch it later. Kitten, what are you doing? Then that tutorial deck, there is one type of Wasteland, one Ruins, 3 monsters, regular, positive, death, but yeah. With defeat effect priority and 1 minion. Yeah, so it's like, I think ideally, like, assume we're gonna sell this game to someone, right? I think you don't want to have like a tutorial deck that is a different deck. Like, we don't want to have to include more cards. So like just saying like having like a sheet that says, here, play this as your first game to get a feel for how the game works. And then like, it's just like an easy experience to go against, right? It's like, you will win this, go do training. So like they get a feel for how it goes before, like maybe even like start with these cards on the board. Like, I don't know. It's something that we gotta like figure out how to make it work. But I never asked myself what kind of bean you were, or I never asked. Yeah. Or are you all of them? Every and any. A mixed can of beans. But generally 78% runner, hence the name. True. Runner beans. They're a type of bean. Now I want to eat some beans. Not gonna lie. Sounds good. Some green beans. Yeah, honestly, that's the main... Huh? You heard me. Gonna eat you right up, I tell you what. You're just a scrumptious little morsel, I tell you what. Last thing I asked them is like, what do you expect the win rate of this game to be? And they said something like on the like base difficulty, 60 to 70%. Which I thought was interesting. Because I've been thinking about that lately, like how hard should this game be, you know? I did art again and not, it's not incredible, but was made very quick and I do like it, hee 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 hee. Well, if you want to share, feel free. Do an art redeem. Or whatever, however you feel. like a blueberry pie in a church on a Sunday, I tell you what. Sure, heck yeah. But yeah, that's mostly it. I'm gonna have to convert these notes into actual actionable things, but that was how it went. So like, arguably, like reviews not ideal, to be honest. Like obviously we would want higher. And I think like a game like Blight of Blackridge like usually gets much higher reviews. This game is much more niche, to be fair. Most people aren't necessarily like co-op in a board game is like not something most people think of, you know? Especially, you know, one that's like, I feel like a lot of people who like games like Magic are probably competitive, but yeah, Halo's ratings aren't bad for folks who never heard of it yet. Job. Yeah, I'm not like upset about it. If I got like, yeah, no, it's a 3, I'm like, I'd be probably sad. But like, I know the game's not gonna be for everyone also, you know? Oh, I think probably, here's the other most important thing. The other most important thing. Brian was I asked him if they would play again, and he said, like, it sort of sounded like he said yes, but he kind of, there was more talking about it. It almost sounded like yes with the right people, right? Not that like I wasn't the right person, but like he was like, yeah, I have some friends that really like it, you know, blah blah. There was more talking about it. It wasn't like, yeah, definitely. Whereas Zach was like, for sure. I asked them if they would reuse the same deck, and they both said they would want to try a new one, which I think makes perfect sense. But Zach did say that he liked his deck specifically. So he's like, I like my deck, but I'd definitely try another one. So also, bravo for having the balls to put yourself out there. I respect that. Thank you. I feel good about it as well. It's something I've been trying to work on, because like it's tough, right? So yeah, I think that's I feel good about, yeah, putting myself out there for sure. Hopefully I'll do a little more of that today after stream, but we'll see. Because I am going to a trade show thing again. They had a lot of Pokemon cards. I actually got some Pokemon cards. Huh, I'll show you guys. I didn't want to spend much money because we all know I don't have a ton. But I figured I'm at a trade thing. I'm at an event that has, of course, now I need to find where I put them. Are you in here? Yeah. But I really like a lot of the new, like, full card art things. And, oh god, you can't see it. That's horrible. Here, let's do this instead. On Luna. There we go. I got an Ingesk, because Beatles, of course, right? And it's a pretty card. It's shiny. Look at that. And then there's also, I got a Shedinja, because, again, Beatles. And they're cool. There we go. Those were the 2 cards I bought. I was like, yeah, why not? Maybe I'll start a Beetle Pokemon collection. Let me catch up, because I know Tuna dropped a big old thing here. So you know how in some games with a bunch of playable characters, they have metrics for different characters to demonstrate the differences. Sorry, let me comprehend that. Games have a bunch of playable characters. They have metrics for the characters to demonstrate the differences. Yeah, like a little stat thing. For example, on the lower end, there's just a difficulty ranking for them, but some games have like a utility, offensive, defense. Yeah. AQs, at least the difficulty metrics. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, like this is how difficult this deck is to play. So part of it too, like some of me is wondering if we rework the decks to build like 2 decks that are very good for beginners and like not include some of the more complicated cards, like getting rid of Whale Hunter out of Destruction and getting rid of Bard out of Harvest. Like that's not necessarily like unless if those are meant to be more difficult, but like those cards are confusing to a new player and they're not like super simple. So I don't know, right? But I do agree that could be a good idea. I think we need to choose 2 gods to be definite beginner ones. Yeah, like in a way I could just say like Harvest Creation, right? Because they're both like super, they're both probably the simplest to play and you just get lots of units and that's like very important for the game. But I don't know, because like in theory, like war is very easy, but the problem is like the deck right now doesn't really have a lot of unit gen that lets you allocate it. It's just mostly put on your heroes, so it's kind of, you know, whatever. Tuna's in full game dev mode. How's your game coming along? It's bad, right? Ragnarokopia. I just can't pronounce words. I can read it in my head. The idea isn't, or the concept, both. Got a dash, but I wanted to pop in. Love you. Back later. XXX. Just kisses this time. Sorry, I don't know what I was. Anyway, Bean, I will see you later. I appreciate you being here. We'll see how long I'm on for. I'll probably be on for at least 3 hours, but I don't think I'm gonna go much longer than that, because like I said, I have a convention I can go to, and I think that's probably good. There's again, there's like a TCG people. I don't know actually how big they are. I've seen them around. I've seen indie people talking about them. Shard bugs. This is their thing. It's like, I guess, you know, a creature battler Pokemon like thing, except they're all bugs. I think they had a Kickstarter. Yeah, Kickstarter. I mean, it's decently big. They had a $25,000 goal, got $107,000. Not bad. For sure. Better than I would do right now if I did my Kickstarter, I think. But it's definitely something I want to talk to. Like, I think it'd be good to talk to them if they're actually the devs there. I think that'd be kind of awesome to be like, hey, what's your advice? Maybe play the game. I don't know. So that's probably something that'd be worth doing. I'll look at your art in a half a second here, Tebow. Sorry, I kind of forgot. I have a bunch of OCs at least. There you go. Banger concept, but definitely something I'll be coming to as I gain more experience. Well, that's how you gain more experience. You keep doing it. Your first game will not be your best game. So make it anyway. Do not be afraid that it will be bad, because it will be. And then it will be better because you made it good. It's fair, though. I have a very fun idea, but absolutely no clue even how to start making a prototype. Well, then ask me. Ask all of us. We are here to help, Tebow and Tuna, both of you. I don't want to hear any excuses. Harvest, Creation, and War are 3 contestants. Magic, Destruction, Altruism, and Devotion are all more complex. Yeah. I don't think Devotion's really that... Well, Devotion's complex because it has shit like Bridge. Altruism also I don't think is that complex. It's just a little weird. Like, people I think feel like it doesn't feel like anything because you have to put your units on your god instead of your heroes and whatnot, so it's just kind of confusing. Like, I think it's more confusing than anything. Where's the creationist Beetlebug? I don't know. That's a great question. Don't want to type out the whole idea and explain it for a while. Well, you can definitely like make a your creations thing. I look at pretty much all of those. Just make a like start brainstorming it. I will definitely give my 2 cents. Ragnarokopia is just way too hard to execute as my first project. I think Laboratory was way more approachable for my first project. I mean, that's the great thing about a game jam, right? Is like you have to pick something that's approachable. That said, I think you could probably do a very minimum viable product. Like, start with something that's much simpler. Like, okay, I want a god simulator, so let's just start with like one aspect, like just the creature design part or whatever, or just the life cycle part. Like, make it stupid simple and then add complexity after that. And then eventually you'll find that a certain part where you add, like a certain part, adding the complexity won't help anymore. I think that's the biggest like problem I had with making the new version of Soul, is I had so many systems. I hadn't tested each individual one, and then it was really hard to like think of all of it and combine it all at once. So testing individual systems to see if they worked and if they were fun and if they were good before actually you know, before actually trying to like make all of it all at once, you know. I won't promise I finish it. Nope. You have to promise right now. You must promise you'll finish it. Do it in Discord. We can help. That's right back at you, Tuna. Post in Discord. There we go. Look at that, Tebow. Your new game looks tasty. Am I wrong? Does that not look tasty? Do you not want to just like crack that like a chocolate bar and eat it? You know what I mean? Speaking of things that look tasty, let's take a look at Tebow's art. Tebow's always with the, oh, it is pixel art. Never mind. Like with the tiny resolution, but it's pixel art. First of all, I like it. I like the little patch of flowers, I'm assuming. Well, it's tiny resolution. Yeah, is it actually pixel art? It's art, you interpret it. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, it's very small. I mean, it's not like pixel. I mean, but this character, I would say, is a pixel art character, right? What would you like me to critique you on, or do you just want to show it off before I say anything? First of all, great work. All of the colors. It's very, very whimsical. If you were doing Soul, you'd focus on building it from the ground up, one system at a time. Exactly. Yeah. I think I would pick one system, play test it, and then if it works, I'd move on to another system. Like, I'd be like, okay, does the roll-off system work? The dice, whatever, blah, blah, does this work? And I'd try that. And then if that worked, I would move on and be like, okay, does the cards work with the dice system? Okay, yes, like, whatever. And maybe I wouldn't even try the dice system. I would just go back to like, you know, just a D20, you roll and it works. Or maybe I wouldn't have dice at all. I'd try, okay, this card, you play it and the action just happens, right? If you have it in your hand, you can do it. You know, try more things rather than just trying to implement it all at once. And like the other big thing with Soul is that I don't know if I was making a game that I'd want to play. I was making a game that was just card based, you know? Colors are cool, yes. This is basically first prototype board, but one sec. Oh, okay, the board game thing, yeah. Generally never played anything like Ragnarokopia, so I don't even have a first clue where to get started. I don't think you need to have played something like it to know how to make something. I think you just, like, the biggest thing is just take one element of what you want and try to start to make it. Yeah, having like a inspiration is good, but it's hard to make something truly unique. Yeah, taking inspiration from other things is good. But then take inspiration from something you have played, right? Like, okay, I don't know, I played Zoo Tycoon, and this is like, you know, and I want this system from that, right? Like, you don't need to... Did I close Twitch? No, I didn't. It's on a different tab. So, like, it doesn't even have to be a board game, right? Define pixel art. I mean, I don't know. Like, your character is definitely just a series of pixels, right? Like, you could see this in a video game. I think at a certain point, once you get low enough resolution, it feels like pixel art. But yeah. Composition-wise, anything I could do better? Perspective, colors, objects. Okay, I think I have good advice for that. Let me not go over my... I don't want to get into an ad here while I'm doing stuff. Have you heard of the rule of thirds? Yes, correct, you. Why is this not working? I didn't think about it, just kind of let things happen. That's totally fine. But if this is you're asking advice on composition, this is what I'm going to give you. Rule of thirds. You have a grid through. Is that not showing up? It's very hard to see on the export. There's gonna be ads in a minute, so I might not get. Let me just take the ad right away, and then I will explain what I'm thinking here. Dang it. Stop it. Yeah, let me just take my ad break now, and then I'll explain what I'm thinking when we get back. So give me just a sec. BRB, 3 minutes. I'm turning my card-based tabletop role-playing game into a fully fledged deck builder. That's right, a role-playing game like Dungeons & Dragons, but with the deck-building mechanics of something like Slay the Spire. Not only that, but doing so solves a bunch of problems generally experienced in many tabletop RPGs. Hi, I'm Nathan, and this is my sci-fi role-playing game called Soul. Now you might be saying, Nathaniel, you're just making this game into a deck builder because it's popular right now. And to that, I say, you're right. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't hoping that a popular game genre wouldn't help promote my game. But even though that is true, that's not really the reason I decided to make this change. It's actually because it solves a lot of problems in my game. But before I explain why I did it, let's explain what I actually did. To start, I'm going to use an action system similar to version 2 of my game called Concentration. Each point of concentration essentially counts as one action. The exception here is that more powerful cards may cost more than one concentration to use. This is going to be similar to Hearthstone's mana system or Slay the Spire's energy system. A player will start the game with 3 concentration and be allowed to spend it on various cards on their turn. After spending it, their concentration will regenerate when it becomes their turn again. As for the cards themselves, there are 3 different types of playable cards. Basic actions. These cards allow you to perform a simple action, mainly one of your equipped items, such as a weapon to attack an enemy. As a note here, there will be an inventory system where you have separate cards equipped, but that's for another video. Physical abilities. Generally, these are things that can be done within human means, or alien means, or whatever. Something like the Knight's Cleave ability, which makes a sweep attack hitting multiple enemies, or the Medic's First Aid ability, which allows them to heal a target even when it's not on their turn. And lastly, nano abilities. I won't kid myself, this is basically a magic system under the guise of technology. This allows a character to perform actions and go beyond what's normally possible, such as Medic being able to use mass healing, which allows them to heal allies in an area. This also helps to explain older abilities like the DJ Scale ability, which allows you to change the size of other characters' abilities. A player will choose an assortment of these cards from a class or multiple classes to build a deck. Once they have their deck, they can use these abilities in-game, especially during combat. Once combat begins, a player will draw 6 cards and be able to choose what actions to perform by playing these cards and using concentration to do so. Once a card is played, it goes into a discard pile and cannot be played again until their deck is empty. I'm still debating on whether a player's hand refreshes every turn, or if they can retain their cards and draw enough to fill their hand. Playtesting is probably in order to decide which one's best, but let me know what you think. Either way, that's the general premise of the deck building aspect, so let's explain why I actually made this choice. For those of you who play games like Dungeons & Dragons, will likely know this sort of situation. Your party gets into a fight with some enemies, and it gets to your fighter's turn. Your dungeon master asks a fighter what they would like to do, and they say attack one of their enemies with their legendary magic sword. They attack, and then the DM asks what they would like to do with their 3 additional actions, and they simply say they want to attack with their sword again, even though there might be more interesting options that the character might have. This continues until they're out of actions or the enemy is dead. Now, you may blame the fighter for playing the game in an uninteresting or boring way. However, well, they may have other actions at their disposal. Using their legendary sword is likely the... Okay, Tebow, you have heard of the rule thirds. Here's what I would recommend for this. So, obviously you can put your character on a third. That's usually what you know, it should be on the line. It doesn't really matter where necessarily. Usually you want it to be like on the center of a third. Potentially go here. Obviously you're going for like a more dramatic composition. Like the character isn't necessarily your, I mean, they're your focal point, but I think maybe going with something like this might be a better option. Let's just see if AI can help us here. Generator fill. Generate. Sent another version just now. Okay. It's interesting. I was just curious what it would do. Maybe that's more like it, right? Yeah, I like this. Let's do a new comp paste. Again, let's do a new grid, new guide layout. It's not quite on third, but I think it's, you know, close enough. Technically, you could push it even closer to the third, maybe up a little bit. I think your composition here is fine. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming some sort of like alien UFO in the sky. You eyeballed it. It's good enough. Honestly, I don't think you necessarily need it. I think this is pretty good. What I might consider here is I don't know exactly what the perspective here is, right? I think the confusing part is like, is this kind of like a cliff that falls off and they're looking off into the horizon like this? Because I think that's kind of a cool look at that. Or is this just like one plane and the cliff is down here, right? Or are they on a cliff at all, and is it supposed to be going back in the background? Yeah, I think defining that would make this piece a lot cooler, right? Like, so it seems like the light's kind of coming from here and you're kind of getting like a soft glow this way. So maybe do a little bit more. Hopefully I can do a little more defining on here, right? Like define this a little bit better. So it's this, and then what you can do with this stuff that's supposed to be in the background, right, that kind of fades off into the distance, take some of the sky color, and then you may be able to do this. like as it goes into the distance, it fades out into the, I probably should have my brush be a little bigger. It'll make it easier. Let me actually do this, Han. I have a better way to do this. Let me do this as a separate layer so I can just make it easier. So it fades off. And then we can maybe tone that back, or maybe do a blend mode of like screen or something. Nah. Right? See, now you have like a lot more depth. Yeah, depth. So like if you look at like in real life, right? If you're in the mountains and you look off, right? You see that the mountains that are far away look more like the sky, right? So the farther it is, the more atmosphere you have between you and the mountains. So adding a little bit more sky color. This is probably the wrong brush to use because I don't like how there's like these little things sticking through. So that really, I think, helps separate stuff. There was a sun at some point, I don't know where it went. That's fair. Yeah, trees far away can look almost blue. Yeah, exactly. So give us some distinction. And maybe it's just, well, maybe it's just, maybe this one's closer, right? And it's just kind of a valley that goes down, right? That's kind of cool. Kind of like that. So I'd say try to give it more depth. It looks a little it could potentially look, it could look a little, just have a little more depth. Like it seems a little one-dimensional as far as like the background goes. Your character's also like very saturated compared to your background. So maybe it depends on whether you want this to be an art piece or look like a video game, whatever. Usually a lot of time video game characters stand out from your background for sure. But the color palette feels different. So maybe potentially taking your character and desaturating them a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not even just saturation. I think it's honestly lightness as well. Wait, I'm applying it to the wrong thing. It's kind of hard to just change that, but make it look better, but I think just the saturation's fine. Maybe just like a lighter, because they're very dark, right? I mean, maybe that's on purpose as well. So take that with a grain of salt, but maybe you do pixel art kind of. Whoa, yeah. But yeah, I think just honestly adding some depth is the biggest thing I would recommend. I think like whatever this is in the sky might also be too big. This is again with like the thirds, right? Let's bring back our thirds for a second. I mean, it's on the thirds. I feel like it is too in the distance to be as blurry and as much atmosphere behind it, right? So I feel like it almost makes more sense for this to be smaller, so it actually looks like it's in the distance rather than because right now it's too close to be as far away as it is. I mean, maybe it's just really that big. But with it being kind of blurred, it feels like it should be out of focus. Does that make sense? I don't know. Generator fill did not work. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe mount some mountains in the back. Yeah, you could also do that. That was my original thought, but I was thinking you could, with this one, I was thinking you should add mountains in the back. This one you kind of got more over here, which kind of gave you a little more ideas there. But what you can do is you could just do what I like to do, depending on how your layers are set up. There we go. You draw, you know, some mountains or hills in the background, and then what you can do is you can just, you know, fade them out a lot. You know, just lower their transparency, and then suddenly you have something that looks like it's in the distance. Mountains, hills, whatever. And then you can do that again, technically, if you just do another one and obviously you'd want layers for this and just do this in the back, but it's just, you know, do that real quick. Like super far behind, right? See how much depth that adds though? You don't even have to be that detailed with it too, which is the cool part. I think that's the biggest thing. Like your image was feeling a bit one-dimensional, and just thinking in layers. Honestly, literally the thing Coral posted today is a great example. This thing. Because it kind of pushes, like, the different values can push stuff back. And we're kind of just doing this in a little bit different of a way. Like, the character's dark. You just have to think of background, midground, foreground, right? I think is the biggest thing. And heck, if you wanted to add a little bit more depth, you could, I don't know, have like, if you had your like little flowers, you know, still, you had these, you could have like a, you know, a flower super close to camera or whatever, you know. That's maybe too much, but like that idea, right? I don't think the hill would be over here, but you could add something way in the foreground as well. Like we're looking past a bush to this character or whatever, right? So those are all my thoughts. This is what Coral sent today. Yeah, moral. It's sort of. Same concept. Yeah. It's set a little bit differently. I think more of like it from a dimensional standpoint, foreground, midground, background. But using light, medium, dark is actually a good way to differentiate that. But yeah, I think that's it. For comparison, this is what I did. Oh, I ruined your original. I broke it. I broke it forever. Hold on. Hold. Please hold. Bruh. Let's do it like this. No. Wait, what? There. I'm failing. Why is it not? There we go. So this is what you had. These are the tweaks I did. Just adding some dimensionality to it. This almost leads me kind of a bit into one of the other things I kind of wanted to yap about today. I've been watching I don't know if you guys have seen, I know you guys aren't like huge stream watchers necessarily, but I've been watching, Ludwig's been doing Streamer University stuff for Kai Cenat. He has like the whole, you know, streamer university thing, and I've been watching some of his videos, and it's been kind of making me inspired to work on my videos more, and also like figure out how I'm relating streaming to my videos as well. I know Tebow's mentioned it a few times before about just literally taking my stream content and making it like a video, and I've probably talked about it too, but I think I've been struggling to figure out like how those things relate, like, you know, making because I really like my long form videos. I like them a lot. I'm very proud of them. But I don't know where I'm going with that and how they relate to this stream. Yeah, what is your brand? Exactly. I mean, like, yeah, I make card games and board games and whatever. I think that's kind of my brand. I don't think it has to be, because I have plenty of other creative things. But like one of the things he mentioned is like, he said a lot of the people who are there are very good at making short form content, but it doesn't translate to their long form content or to their streams even, right? It's like, oh, you have like 1 billion viewers on a TikTok, but you don't have any view, like you have 100 viewers watching your stream or whatever, right? Like, where's the translation? Why is it not working, right? But a lot of it's because the content is different. Like, I don't necessarily sound like I do in my YouTube videos. And it's hard to know what I need to focus on too, because like one of the other things is he's like focusing on, if you have an 8-hour stream or 8 hours, you shouldn't be streaming for all 8 hours. You should be planning for 4 to 6 hours and then streaming for 4 to 2, you know? I think making cards time lapses, including the notable moments from the stream, and adding your own commentary is a direction worth trying. I could potentially see that. Mostly with the like, I don't know. I just don't think, I think art time lapses don't really do well on YouTube. There's not many people who just like, let me just do a time lapse. It's the stories. Like, there are some people who do like, I'm doing a time lapse, but they explain like they're talking about stuff, and sometimes those work. I think it probably has to be more interesting than that. Like the game design stuff, like we talk about, I think could be interesting. I honestly don't think the content I do on stream is necessarily interesting enough for a video, or comprehensive enough, or like not comprehensive, like it's not good enough. I kind of just do whatever, right? So I think the solution is like structure my streams more, because that was like one of the big things, again, Ludwig talks about, is doing the stream is for the stream is a recording session, right? So a stream should be a recording session for a video, essentially. What are we gonna be doing? You're gonna be forming your own niche even if you already follow existing trends. Yeah, for sure. I mean, but I think it's also about what I want to do, right? So like I still have to figure that out, but I think it could mean like a pretty big like change in how I do my workflow and stuff like that. Because I really do like Ludwig's videos where he's like, it's a stream, but then he has his voiceover to kind of give extra context and make the video a story. It's not just I'm playing games today, right? It's you know, I challenge my friends to do this or whatever, right? And it's the story of like how he almost won, or how he actually won, or how whatever, right? Do you see the reality check he did of average earnings of streamers at different levels? I mean, there's a little bit of good and a little bit of bad on both of those, right? Like one of it's like, if you have 20 concurrent viewers, you are like the top 1% of streamers, right? 92% of streamers don't go live more than once. Advantage because you're not just your content, but also your products. True. It's still a horrifying statistic. Yeah, but honestly, I think they're more inspiring to me, to be honest. I mean, obviously if you have like 100 concurrent viewers, you're only making like $7,000 a month or whatever, which is like, I think that's perfectly livable, honestly, truthfully. Maybe it was less than that. I don't remember, but it's not like a great, like, it's not like, man, the statistics he gave were like, don't do this because you want to be famous. Do it for the love of the game. You know, that was basically what he was getting at. And I think that's a good thing. There's 40K per year for everyone on the top 10,000. I mean, 40K per year is like livable. I mean, that's fun. I mean, that's a little bit less than what I'm making if what I would be making if I did my concrete job full time. I don't remember what the top 10,000 was. Is that 1,000? No, is that 1,000 views, or was that? I don't remember what the. I gotta look at the statistics again, but I think it's probably around top like a. Is that 1,000 average? Probably not. It's probably higher than that. Maybe not. I don't know. Feel free to not read the whole lap of text I sent right now, just because it's a new concept, very whip, and you are doing other things now. I will definitely look at it, dude. I'm assuming this is your game thing. Your creations. Yes, I'm going to look at it for sure. Yeah, on stream it's a little tough, but I definitely will look at it and I'll give you my input. I did like the name Quirky Quarrel. It's cute. This is a whip name. I decided. It's still fun. I like it. But yeah, honestly, I'm feeling inspired by watching a lot of it. It kind of makes me want to make my content again. I don't know exactly what that is, and I kind of gotta, I think, develop a new pipeline for everything. Like, really, I think I need to figure out how my streaming relates to my how streaming relates to my video content, right? Yeah, from my experience while I was working, my total monthly expenses, food, necessary bills, were not even 300 euros, which is over $300. Yeah, but living expenses are different. I probably spend somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 a month just living. I don't spend that much either. Cost of living's expensive. It depends on what state you're in too, right? It's very, very different. Like California, it's probably like double or triple that much. But then again, you're also probably making more money if you work there. Or you're homeless. But yeah. I don't know. It's very interesting. Your expenses account for 2 living beings. Don't forget. Are you including Luna? Luna's a very small portion of my living expenses. What's honestly most expensive is insurance and my mortgage. It's probably 2,000 with my mortgage if you include my mortgage. That's not. I wasn't necessarily including my mortgage and all that. Living expenses though, like I probably spend like a week, like maybe, I don't know, $60 in food, maybe. Thankfully, health insurance is way down from what it was, but mortgage and insurance suck, indeed. Indeed they do. Health insurance was super expensive, but turns out there's some good government incentives if you work a little bit. Because yeah, you get nothing if you don't work at all. It's like, okay, you need to spend $300 a month on insurance alone, like health insurance. But if you work, it's like nothing. If you work, you make at least like 16,000 a year. It's like, okay, you instantly don't have to pay for insurance. Of course, you have to pay taxes, and that's part of it and whatnot. But you basically just get way better incentives. Why can't we all have homes and health? Because money is a thing, and not everyone can be prioritized. I don't know. I'm just saying words. Anyway. Which is a paradox because people without work need healthcare the most. There are disability things as well. I was just a dude who wasn't working in everyone else's mind, you know? In the government's mind. I was just being a freeloader. Now, if you have, like, you know, you're injured or something and can't work, then you can get health insurance. There's like disability stuff, but that is very different from me having no reason not to be able to work, not be able to be taking home income. I'm a healthy, strapping young man, as Toot would probably say. But yeah. Anyway, we probably should work on something. I kind of just felt like yapping today a little bit. Like I said, I'm inspired. I gotta figure out the connection between my stream and between my stream and my video content. I can't words. On whatever, you get it. I don't actually need to write this down. Mental health isn't considered for most of those things, at least not at a level as physical. That's true. You're not wrong. But yeah, the only idea I had that I like, you have a triangle, streaming videos and your product. Yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out that triangle, right? We need you know, video, streaming, and game. And we need to figure out what's here, you know? The answer is it's Bill Cipher. So yeah, that's what we have to figure out, or I have to figure out, really. And that's what I've been struggling with for a while, because like, I love my videos. I really, really like them. I think they're really good. But it's hard to make them when I'm doing all the other stuff. It's hard to find all the time. And like, these things don't really, they relate, but they don't. My game and streaming work together. My game and, like, I can figure out how all these, I think, work together individually. Right? I'm making my videos on my game. Like, these make sense. I'm making my game while I stream. That makes sense. I'm not really doing this. I'm not really doing streams as videos, which I could do, but I don't think I make the proper content on my streams to make videos for them. Because I don't want to go through a 3-hour VOD and be like, or 5-hour VOD and be like, let me see what I can just kind of scrounge up. Like, yeah, maybe I'll find like 4 clips worth doing, right? But I'm not going to find a whole video. Yeah, I could do like, I designed an entire card, but it doesn't feel like that, right? It doesn't feel like something you go on YouTube and like, I'd watch this as a video, you know? You basically need to complete a triangle because the videos and streaming are only connected by the game. Right, exactly. That's a great way to put it. Thank you for the triangle metaphor. Sorry, I'm eating a protein bar. But yeah, that's the biggest issue, is that I don't think my content streaming is good enough for video. I was Bill Cipher all along. Hell yeah. Like, I think... Sorry, I'm trying not to get chocolate on myself. I think... I like my streams. I like how chill they are. I like how we hang out. I like how we do stuff. I think I could be streaming to make videos instead of just streaming and hoping a video comes out of it. Like, the best example of a time I streamed basically for a segment. Also, watch my shorts if you haven't watched them. They're all coming out still. I think I accidentally came out with Soulfist Monk. No, it came out at midnight instead of whenever, but make sure you watch those. Like, comment, subscribe. The best example of that was the time I reviewed Macrosnat's game. Right, where I was like, here's this game and how I can compare it to mine and blah, blah, blah. These videos. This was the closest I think I had to a video that like felt like my stream was meant to be whatever. Like my art reviews, those are decent, right? But I don't think that's my stream most of the time. I do art, but I'm not really I'm not an art review channel, right? I think the issue with this graphic is the two things are connected to your game and your attention and work is split between those two things. I agree. Yeah. I'm doing streaming. I stream 3 hours, like 3 hours when I stream, and then I get off. Like most people, they say most people have about 4 hours of good work in them, right? Like actual truly good work a day is 4 hours. I stream for about 3. Like, how much work am I really gonna get done on a video if I like have nothing started or whatever? Like, yeah, maybe I can go in and edit some stuff and blah, blah, blah. Because I'm working hard on stream most of the time. I mean, right now I'm freaking yapping, but like, I spend a good 4 hours working on the game usually, right? I mean, yeah, we do. Maybe at least 3 hours, right? I usually stream long. I don't usually just only go for 3 hours. I go to like 3 to 5. You know what I mean? Coral's idea of playing a game with everyone in the community is fun. Needs to be, does everyone consent to this becoming a video? I think it's a good idea. I don't necessarily think it's a good video for me. I think it's a good video. I just don't know if it's like good for me necessarily. Actually, I have an idea actually. I want to look up some reference here. Okay, I guess he didn't even post. I was thinking about Ginger Pale. He recently did a collab with Ludwig, actually, where he did art. But I'm literally not even seeing a video from him anytime recently. Because like it was like artists do Mecha Chameleon and like, you know, pro artists do Mecha Chameleon. But I don't really see him doing anything here. Maybe he's got another channel that would probably make more sense. But I don't even see it here either. So, I don't know. Shoot, I didn't look at all the shorts yet. Gotta watch them. Like and comment, and watch the whole thing. Strategizing is hard work too. Just look at The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Indeed, true. These creations then acquire beats for all kinds of videos. Solve. You're welcome. Yeah, but then it's just like, that just means I have to be consistent on all of them. You know what I mean? It just means I have to work even harder. Then this triangle becomes a square. I search beats and filter on channels. You're on top. If I gotta be honest, the front of the font would make me doubt the channel is legit. Check stream chat. I would love to see that. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna change that. Yeah, it's a little, I was trying to be fancy, but I might just change it back. I was just trying to have fun, you know? But yeah, that is something I'm going to change back. I thought I was just being cool. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun that you can do text like that. And then it's just like, yeah. It's not really a YouTube thing, I don't think. But yeah, this is the goal. Finding this. Completing the cycle. Finding some way we can, it's probably more likely, well actually no, it would be both ways, right? Because right now we have videos that relate to the game, we have the game relates to the stream, but we don't have the stream relating to the video and the video like bringing people into the stream. I will say this triangle has the game at the top and the videos and the streaming are the two legs sticking to hold it up. Yeah. And I think it's reflected in the fact that your content revolves around the games. So maybe the way to connect the streaming and video is to make the game itself more compatible with the content. Yeah, I think honestly that the actually really interesting thing is the AAE is really good for streaming, and Soul I think was really good for video, which is really interesting because I can constantly be talking about a new card, new mechanics, blah 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 with AAE. With Soul, like, the idea was to make cards that like are narrative driven, right? Yeah, there was mechanics originally, but the more I got into it, the more I'm like, I want this to be narrative. And talking about how to make an ability narrative on stream is just not, people aren't gonna get it, right? It's like, hey, well, what if you make the ability do +2 damage? No, that doesn't work. You know, like that's the kind of ideas you're gonna get talking to. Maybe eventually we could get that down, but a new person coming in isn't gonna get that, right? No, I get that, but it looks a little like one of those scam channels. No, you're totally right. I should swap it up. That is true. Not AAE specifically, but the next project, the Stream Teacher RPG, is potentially a good direction. I agree. I honestly think Soul was a better direction for video. I don't know if it's necessarily a better direction for streaming, though, yet again. I mean, streaming could just be my art, but like... Because right now, streaming, its only function is a 3-hour work session on the game and viewer retention. Like, keeping you guys here, right? Like, I mean, it sounds like scummy when I say it that way, but I think you know what I mean, right? Like it is great for viewer interaction and you know, retention and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, maybe the idea is try to, like, I think the stream-based TTRPG is a good one. Morning, guys. Yo, thunder. And the thunder, lightning, and the thunder. Stay with me, please. Please don't leave me. That's the problem, though, like, is actually, though, if I don't improve the video side, I'm not gonna have anyone watching anymore. That's just, honestly, that's literally the inevitably what's going to happen. You all will fall off. Ah, shoot, I gotta go eat. See, T-Bow's leaving me already. No, but like, if you're like, I think I said this last time, but something my brother said to me, and again, I think it's just like a business, just the thing about business, right, is that if you're not growing, you're shrinking. Because if I'm not continually gaining new viewers, I eventually will just fall into obscurity, because eventually you guys are gonna fall off. Eventually, I mean, it's just I've fallen off some of my favorite streamers. Bye. Probably not. See you later. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna stay super late, to be honest. I'll probably be on for maybe another hour, but I do have a convention I want to get to. So yeah. The issue with the stream TTRPG, though, is that the content quality relies on us as viewers being entertaining. That is if it is the chat does D&D, right? The other reliant thing is, like, if I do I could do a D&D with players where chat is something, right? They have some sort of influence on the game. But that is a problem, because then I need reliant people to do the thing every time I host the game, right? Which then means I could have story videos and that kind of stuff, but like that's also like probably going to need to separate channels where it's like the story part of the game and then like the game dev part of the game. I don't think I have, like, my issue is I don't have like consistent enough content. It's kind of all over the place. Darn food requirements to live. True. Improve the video side, like the stream videos catch me up. Okay, so here's the issue. The issue is I am trying basically what you're saying. Yes. So right now my videos are on the game, right? My videos relate to the game I am making, right? For the most part. Most of my videos are on my game. And I think they're very good. I really like my videos. I think they're great. I don't really need to improve the quality of the videos, but the problem is they don't relate to my streaming. Like, they do in the fact that they relate to the game, and my game, I stream my game, right? But my videos if you watch one of my videos and come to my stream expecting my stream to feel like one of my videos, you're not gonna feel that, right? Like, it's not like you're just like, oh, I just watched a like cool condensed version of the stream. Right? It's like, no, I just watched, you know, a video essay, and then I went to go watch this guy on stream, and he's like drawing and like staring into the middle distance for a bit, you know? And then everyone's talking about, I don't know, something obscene. Well, we'll see about me specifically falling off. Good luck getting rid of me, you're right. Yeah, I love Beats videos and I love streamer Beats, but the two are separate entities, and I happen to be a fan of both coincidentally. And I think you can easily be a fan of both. But it's like, if you go watch a show and you're getting a different thing every time you watch it, right? It's like, I don't know. You know, it's the crossover is the difficult part. And here's the other thing: video isn't just video; it's short form and long form, right? Because right now streaming, I could probably get more short form video. Because this is really probably more of a square where it's there could be streaming to get to short form video, but there isn't any short form getting to my videos and my videos and streaming are just separate entities. You said it right. You do make blocks in your stream where you make it more like short clips where you dive deeper for new people. Yeah, I think that's more or less what I've been thinking of, for sure. I mean, that's, again, I've been watching a lot of like content like that, and I think that is like I've been watching the Streamer University stuff with Ludwig and all that. His classes have been very good to watch. They're like super informative. But yeah, I need to do more like segments, right? I need to like, it needs to be more of an activity we do on stream, like an event, rather than me just like drawing cards for 3 hours, you know? There are shows like that, Love, Death and Robots, Black Mirror, for example. Yeah, but it's not like they're presented differently, you know, in a way. I mean, they are. I guess Love, Death and Robots is, but I think that's like a different example, right? It's like, it's more like watching a show and one channel's or like one episode's narrative and the next one's a documentary. You know, it's like, and then you go back and forth between those. It's like, you know, that's kind of how it feels, I would assume. You're gonna attract new people. Yeah, well, I think the idea is trying to make sure the stream relates to the video, right? Or the stream is the recording session for the video. If I want to keep streaming, I mean, I think I do, right? It is something good to consider. Like, do I prefer video or do I prefer streaming? Because I've been in like such a mental block of video, because I think I'm just lost as to what my direction is. I'm very directionless right now, unfortunately, with my videos, because I like the stuff I do, but it just doesn't feel like all of it relates anymore. Fix the broken chain, yeah. But something needs to change, right? I mean, maybe it doesn't. Maybe if I just keep making videos that pop off, it's fine. But like, the production flow is bad, right? Because right now it's like, it's like, oops. This is how the production works right now. I work on the game on stream. So I guess I stream on. I stream. Why does that look so wrong? STREA. I stream, and that stream goes into a game. Or I stream about the game. And then that game, the mechanics, the things I like learn go into a video, which is completely separate. So like the side path here is like, I need to do a script. I need to do like B-roll. Roll, etc., etc. Right? I need to make all the stuff. That is the current issue. And then this does not relate back to this, right? That is the issue here, is that yes, I make this stuff on stream, but the content doesn't have anything to do with this. Whereas probably the better thing to do is you stream. Let's make this Twitch appropriate here. I don't know. Oh, that's not going to be visible. I stream. That goes into the game and the video. So like the footage is all here, right? And then both relate back to the stream, right? Like that's the better workflow. We're about to be in an ad. It's a huge life question in general. I haven't found my direction, and I think about all the time, right? Yeah. Okay, let me take the ad break and then I'll catch up on chat. I'll be back. 3 minutes. Be right back. I'm turning my card-based tabletop role-playing game into a fully fledged deck builder. That's right, the role-playing or the enemy is dead. Now, you may blame the fighter for playing the game in an uninteresting or boring way. However, well, they may have other actions at their disposal. Using their legendary sword is likely the most effective option for dealing with enemies. And while it may be true that it isn't the most interesting, you can't really blame them for using their best action they can. We had the exact same issue in Soul, and for that reason we came up with this design philosophy. The mechanics should never encourage a meta or perfect strategy. Players should never be able to repeat an action or a set of actions ad nauseum. And that's where the deck building mechanics come in. At the start of combat, a player will only have 6 cards, likely meaning they won't always be able to perform their best action and have to adapt to what's given to them. Even in the case of attacking with their weapon, they may only have so many basic actions, forcing them to use some sort of other action. Not only is this good for allowing players to have a diversity in actions, but it will also make combat encounters more interesting as a whole. Not only does a player have to overcome their abilities of their enemy, but also adapt to the abilities available to them. Now this one arguably will have to be tested, but again, you've likely encountered a scenario in other games like D&D where a wizard-type character sits there for 3 minutes digging through their character sheet and trying to find what spell will work in this specific situation. With a limit on the cards, a player will only be able to choose the actions that are in front of them, which should limit their options and allow the game to run a little more smoothly. For our last example, how many times in an RPG have you used an ability on an enemy, or group of enemies, that causes a status effect, like a burn, or poison, or sleep, and have forgotten to apply it each turn, or forgotten which one of your enemies is affected by it? Or how many times has your character yourself been affected by a status effect and forgotten the next time your turn rolls around? This problem is solved using cards. Look at a game like Slay the Spire. When you're affected by a status, it's shuffled into your deck, and then when you draw that card, it's applied to you. This is exactly how it works in Soul. Say you're lit on fire. A burn card will be added to your deck, and upon drawing it, you'll take that damage. This way, a player will never forget to apply this status effect when it's on their turn. There may be other ways that these changes help the game, but I just haven't discovered them yet, and I'm excited to see what they may be. Anyway, thanks for watching, and whoa. Hold on, Nathaniel, I hear you say. Didn't you say in your design philosophy video you didn't want a game with heavy mechanics? And isn't a deck builder super mechanically heavy? Not only that, but tabletop RPGs are supposed to allow players to do anything they want. This seems a bit restrictive. And if you are in fact saying that, you would be right. Anyway, thanks for watching, and okay, fine, okay, fine. I'll explain myself. All right. Well, I realize a deck builder is mechanically heavy. At some point, a role-playing game has to be an actual game, like the game part. And I feel in this case, it's worth the risk. It just means I'm gonna have to be even more careful when designing my abilities in such a way to promote roleplay and avoid nitty-gritty mechanics-based abilities. I'm back. For instance, well, let me catch up here. And I may not practice what I preach, but I do think the process of finding direction is trying different things. Yeah, yes. I think I did a little bit too much trying different things, to be honest. I'm bad at sticking with what works. In a way, honestly, I think streaming, like, if I wanted to do well on YouTube, I think streaming was a mistake. As bad as that sounds, because I think I had stuff where it started to pick up, and I just, like, I don't know, I should just been spending more time on video production. That said, I think I enjoy streaming more because I actually get to interact with you guys, right? Like on YouTube, I'm kind of just like, it's kind of doing it even more in a vacuum than I already am. And that's pretty tough. It's just hard to divide my attention, especially if my stream isn't creating anything for my YouTube content. Because honestly, if you look at this, this isn't, oop, that was the wrong thing. I hit the wrong button. Let's do this for now. This is actually, oh my God, stop. Is more like this, right? It is, I'll just delete all this. The game creates the script, which then creates the, like, then I have to do the VO, the voiceover, and then I have to do the B-roll, and then that makes the video. And then that, again, this does not relate back to this. Besides the fact that I'm doing it on stream, it doesn't feel the same. It's not the same, right? Whereas this, if I were to stream, ideally, this streaming creates the B-roll. The game is like, or it creates the B-roll, the VO, the game creates the script itself, right? Like this should all work in unison. As I mentioned, it does relate in a way that we, hey,
Tuna Marpino
what
just
the heck?
245 bits.
Tuna, thank you for the bits. What the heck? What are you doing? What are you doing spending bits on me? Thank you, Tuna. I very much appreciate that. You definitely do not have to, but I very much appreciate it. Oops, sorry, hold on. My thing is being weird. Here we go. Thank you, Tuna. Don't who else is gonna spend these bits on? That's fair. That's fair. Just don't outspend your means, my friend. That's all I ask. Well, now that you mention it, does relate in a way that we stream watchers see the process that leads to the video. Yeah, but you don't see any of this, you know? You don't see this. This is all stuff you don't see. That's the issue. And the feel is different. Watching this video does not feel like watching my stream. You don't feel like you're getting more by watching my stream. You feel like you're getting like less probably, you know, or just bored. I don't know. But that feels like watching a behind the scenes documentary. Yeah. I like the blocks idea through it. No, I agree. That's literally exactly what Ludwig's advice is, where you do a specific thing for 30 minutes, mechanic for 30 minutes kind of thing. Honestly, even if I just start structuring things better, where it's like, maybe not necessarily like a time thing, but if I specifically, whenever I do something, I lock in on that thing for the duration. Like if I am making a card, that is the only thing I am doing until that card is done, you know? So you see a card from creation to end. I think that's probably a better video than being like, oh yeah, I did this, and then I did this, and then I did this, and I jumped to this, and I did that, and I did this. Like, if I just make, hey, this is the card I'm making, I preface it a little bit better, I try to add some sort of, like, because right now, I think the game is limiting our content to a certain degree, in a sense, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I think new people would appreciate it. I agree. It's immediate returns for streaming. Speaking of bits, thank you, Tuna. I very much appreciate it. Also, didn't drop out because I was bored of you. Dropped out because my head wasn't in the right place. No, I hopefully I didn't sound like I was implying that. I'm not even saying that you dropped out because I was bored, or anyone dropped out because they're bored. They're just people gonna disappear. There's some streams I've like dropped out from, not because I dislike them. It's just like, I don't know, just like I've seen enough of their content or whatever. I'm just not in the right headspace for it. I don't want to watch like, you know, whatever X content. It's like I kind of feel like watching something more relaxing or something more whatever, you know? It's like my preferences have changed. I've seen enough of their stuff. I want to look at something else. It just happens, right? I'm glad you're feeling better though, hopefully, Thunder. But yeah, I don't mean to specifically, didn't mean specifically you if yeah, but I'm just saying people will drop out. That is just life. We probably should work on the game at some point today. I'm hoping we'll see if we actually get to that. But watching your videos was like watching a show, and then watching your stream is like talking to the director of the show, right? Both are fun, but it's only connects by the person. Exactly. I think that is the biggest issue. Like, I think we definitely could find more of a connection. And maybe that's not every video, right? Maybe that's just 90% of videos, and every now and then I throw in a new one, right? Or like throw in, like, I think Quarter Digital is a great example, right? Granted, I don't know if I have time to do like what Quarter Digital does. Actually, I want to look at Corridor Crew, technically. Not Corridor Digital. Because their bread and butter is VFX Artist React, right? But in between those videos, they're doing something more interesting. They do it about every other. It looks like every other video is a React video. Or close to it. But it is 100% their bread and butter, you know? Thanks, just plenty lost in what to do next in my life. Dude, I feel it. Don't I feel it? I just don't like dragging others into it. No, you're good, dude. I mean, I'm literally the, I mean, this is literally what we're talking about right now, more or less, right? It's like, where do I go from here? What's my direction? Because right now we're kind of just like, I feel like I'm in limbo as far as my videos and stuff go, which might mean like creating a new format to like make some stream sections more. Like, the problem is I don't want to lose what my good videos had by just making something from stream. You know? Like, I did my just yap about I mean, I did my last two videos, right? They're cool, but I don't know if it's really what I want to do with a video, you know? Like, I do like that I just kind of yapped about all the cars and all the changes we did on stream, but I don't feel like it's the same thing as... Like, my other videos are much cooler. I like them a lot more. I'm more proud of them. But I don't know. I'm still trying to figure all that out. It's really tough. You read my unhinged comment as something completely reasonable. Proof dyslexia can be a superpower. I don't know. The answer is bean. Watching your videos... Oh, it's like stalking the director of the show. I missed the stalking part, yeah. Oopsie. You'd be good at reaction content, but I personally generally think what you're able to create yourself is so valuable that I would be sad losing it. Yeah, I don't really want to do reaction content. I just think like that idea, like you have your bread and butter content and then you have your main videos every other video, you know, or every 3 videos or whatever. Reaction videos get traction because it links you to other subjects, so people end on your channel because they looked up said subject. Yeah, that's true. Good to have missed that. Yeah. No, for sure. It's search engine optimization, right? Like you get, oh yes, here's X thing. I was looking at X thing. Ah, this person talked about X thing. Okay. Because I'm very niche right now. It's like, hey, you only can watch me if you like the thing I'm making. It's not like I talk about Pokemon or Magic or whatever, which honestly would be a great thing for me to talk about, but I don't really have any interest necessarily in that. Like, not that I don't have any interest, but I don't have any knowledge about it. I don't play Magic. I don't play... Like, I play Inscription. Like, I could talk about Inscription, but Inscription's also like a... I don't know, what? Like 5-6-year-old game now, probably? Probably more than that. I don't know, Inscription... Okay, it's a 5-year-old game. I was close. Right? Like, no one's looking at YouTube videos for Inscription necessarily. I mean, I'm sure some people are, but like, it's probably not a lot. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say what the right move is. That's also the tough part of trying new stuff as a content creator. You build an audience of some size with certain content, then start doing completely different stuff to a bigger audience, which can feel like a betrayal of the current one. Exactly. Honestly, I have an idea that I think is a good idea for a content thing. I thought it'd be like, I would say I'm relatively good at making like motion graphics and stuff. And I've done it before. I've done it for a few content creators. I've done some stuff. I've done some like stuff for like fan stuff and whatever. I think it would be cool to have a stream where we find a smaller content creator. We make them a stinger or like a, you know, like an intro motion graphic, just like this one, right? This, right? Something like this. Maybe a little more complex, maybe their actual like name or something. And then we raid that person and give them the stinger, right? Or the motion graphics thing, right? And then like that becomes a video where it's like, I made a motion graphics for a small streamer or something, right? I think that would be a cool video or series of videos, but I don't necessarily think it relates to what I'm doing. And do I want to be like the motion graphics guy? I don't know. You know? I could do the same thing with board games, I suppose. But that's going to be like much more difficult than like a one-time piece, than having to like balance a game and stuff like that. And I could do another channel and see how it works and blah, blah, blah. But then like I'm not consistent with all of them. And it's just like, that'd be cool. I think there's already content like that. I've seen it with art. There was like someone who was like a professional artist who was like, hey, can I draw your OC for free as practice? And they're like, and they sent like a really like shitty looking OC that they drew, like a thing. They're like, oh, this is so awesome, great work. And it's like, no, I actually drew this one, and it was like an awesome, like cool piece, right? So it was like seeing how people reacted to, I don't know, it was cool, right? So I think that is I've seen it work in a different format, but not necessarily in like a motion graphics thing. Do you have connections with other creators? Why not collaborate with some promote each other's games? Yeah, I've done a little bit of that. I mean, I've had some people play my game. I probably need to have like more connections with game developers. I feel like part of it, well, here's the biggest thing, is there's like hardly any streamers who are board game developers. I'm kind of almost alone here. I've seen a few people go live a few times and then they just stopped. There was one guy, I was like, oh, this is super cool, he's making a game, and he streamed like twice. And then there was Macrosnat, who was cool. I jumped in on a bunch of his streams, but then he disappeared. I think he got demoralized, which I feel like I might have been my fault. I don't know. Because our games were actually very similar too, which was interesting. But I was like, nah, dude, you just gotta do it this way. He's like, I don't know, it's just not fun. And then he stopped playing or stopped doing it. I'm like, ah, man, it's sad, but it was kind of cool because it was like I thought it was cool that we were like doing similar things, and it was like we can learn from each other, but then it just kind of didn't work out, you know. You have someone's game they're creating, and then you send them on the same adventure of you trying your game. And cross people with similar interests. True. True. I mean, it could be a video game too. No new game than one in creation. Yeah. Suddenly you're not trying to figure out how to make a name for yourself, but instead how to differentiate yourself enough from already successful people so you aren't instead considered a cheap copy. But like all of YouTube is like, or a lot of YouTube is just copying formats. And that, like, I also think is not fun, you know? But that is something like I think would be cool because I like helping people, right? Like if I make art for other people and just give it to them and see how they react, it is a fun idea to do, you know? But like sometimes that like could fall pretty flat too. You're like, oh, here, I made this for you. Oh, cool, thanks. You know, like that could be the whole thing. So I don't know. But it's also like, that doesn't relate to what I'm doing right now. And how much does that matter? I don't know. But I would like to do it. But do I create another channel for that? And it's like, then I get in my own head a lot about the whole kind of stuff. You're making your own niche, I'm telling you. I really am. Oh noes, indeed. Your own category. A is built around helping a person who... A is built around helping a person. Who could have guessed you liked helping? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, a co-op board game. I don't think we're getting any art done today. I think today is just a yap session. I think that's okay, though. I think I needed it. I think I needed to yap and figure out what I'm doing. Hopefully this is interesting to you guys. Yeah, I don't know. If you want to draw more people in, you'll have to leave just your content and expand a bit. That's also probably true. It needs to be more relatable, right? Is the problem. We did plan out the rest of AAE development pretty thoroughly, though. Yeah, so I think probably what the play is. Let's just start over on here. We don't really need this anymore. Problem solving, brainstorming, don't mind. Yeah, I kind of figured. I mean, you guys are interacting with me. You're not just like, I can see it. I mean, maybe there's some people who showed up and were like, I don't want to be here anymore, but it's not like my highest viewed stream of all times. We only have like 3 viewers right now, but my viewership actually I think has been dropping, unfortunately, which is, you know, whatever. But see ya, kidding. Yeah, no worries. I figured you were. Especially because I'm like mistitled right now. I probably should be in the just chatting category or something. This is all part of it. This is marketing, really, is what this is, right? This is the marketing side of doing game development and self-marketing. Like, I could just be posting places, but it's, you know, whatever. God, what was I gonna talk about? Oh, game plan. I think the idea is try to restructure streams to be more like video friendly for video, which I think is exactly what Thunder is saying, and we break it down into like segments. and we edit those segments into video. Which I don't think is as drastic of a change as I should be doing. Like, I think we probably, like, if I really want to, like, make all this work, it probably needs to be something more crazy where it's like change the streaming content, right? Like, this is probably like, right? We could change the stream content to then make videos. Big streamers actually do the segment thing. Well, that's exactly why that's exactly what I was thinking before Thunder even said it too. Because yeah, that's exactly Ludwig's advice. And I'm like, the problem is I'm streaming to stream and I'm videoing to video and they don't relate, and that's just like giving me burnout. Because how am I supposed to stream for 3 hours and then be done after that and work on a video for, you know, whatever? I'm pivoting too many times. I'm going all over the place and nothing's relating to anything. And I'm just doing 4 separate jobs that don't relate at all. You know, at least that's what it feels like. I think I'm tearing my brain in too many different directions. But I think right now restructuring the streams into like, I'm making this card, you know? Right, like that could be like just a video, I'm making a singular card and we talk about the whole design process. Yeah, with the completed circle, everything fuels each other. Yeah. Honestly, playtests I think are a great one too, like making that a stream. I think those could be videos. I think another part of me is concerned about polluting my YouTube channel. Which part of me just wants to make another YouTube channel just to like not feel bad about just putting more different videos on here, but at the same time, like, do I really have any consistency anymore, you know? I don't know. Like if I just start putting tons of playtest videos on here, like how are people gonna feel about that? Doesn't make sense to do a separate channel because then all the stuff I'm making is gaining views separately and not relating to each other, right? I've been wondering if I should even have my live videos on this channel as well because they're kind of like polluting the videos in a sense too. AAE is fun to watch. I think most people would disagree. At least far as like board game content. I think board game content is bad in a stream format. That said, I think if I have video narration, it might be better. Where I kind of go like, and then this happened and blah, blah, blah. Cody would agree. Yeah, true. I think it's different when you understand the rules, but when you're playing when you're watching on stream and you don't know anything about it, it's like, I don't have any context and this isn't good. Could always keep it cleaner by sorting the videos into a playlist on the channel. Yeah, true. I also think just like showing how the video looks different. Like one of the things I was doing is like all the ones with like me as like guy, like a animated guy would be more like video essay content, and one with like my actual face is more like my less structured content, is what I kind of started to do. But I don't know. It's just kind of hard to figure out. I think the truth of the matter is I just need to do things. I just need to keep making and not be so worried about how the content will feel and how people will feel and whatever. I just need to do. My only worry is like, I don't know. I got plenty of worries, let's be real. But yeah. He watched, spectated, and observed all at once. It's true. I think that's the thing though, is like most people coming into a stream watching a board game are gonna get bored. You could watch a video game that you understand instantly and be like, okay, cool. Whereas a board game, a lot of time it's like, that's why I made the like open hand thing, right? So you can actually see what's going on during the game. And like understand, like have more context. Because right now there is no context. Part of me might make the open hand thing more just exclusive to armies, but I don't know. Where it has like the rule book built in and that kind of stuff maybe, but I don't know. And people aren't going to be reading a rule book though as you're watching, you know? So I think making a video on a playtest would be decent. I started to do this with like a really old one that me and Nez did. It was like during her like event thing, Plague Fest. And I wrote down, like I went through and I, where was it? There's actually also a bunch of shorts I wanted to talk about here, but yeah, I went through and I was like, okay, here's what happened in the video. Like turn one, I drew cards, blah, blah. And then like, I was thinking of editing that down and then adding context through what actually happened. But I don't think I streamed this, so I didn't have my video, which was kind of not as good. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I just need to I need to figure that out, you know? OpenNet can be a general thing, but you can also have your own version for armies. Yeah. You don't playtest on stream enough to make use enough. Yeah, I need to do that more. I need to playtest more in general, to be honest. For playtest, you could do a Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of narration. Yeah, I think that's like one of the things I need to do when playing is be like, I take this card and then play this card and blah, blah, blah. I could do that as like in post, but it'd be ideal if I did it like when playing. But I also have to get like my playtest partner to do that. I don't know. So I guess it's kind of like a onboarding thing for like a player to play test with. You have to mention how much you believe in the heart of the cards. True. Very, very true. So I don't know. Basically, there's a lot to think about. I think for now it's maybe restructuring to try to at least get used to like making segments of a video. Like, hey, here's what we're doing today. We're going to be working on, obviously I'm not going to actually change how I sound, but we're going to be working on this card. And we're going to actually figure out exactly how the mechanics work and blah, blah, blah. And here's what we're drawing. I don't think that's really going to be that great of content for video, though. say you were inspired today. Anything specific? Because I say you write it down for next time. I think I don't think it was like anything like idea. Like I was inspired to just do the stuff again, I guess is how I felt. I'm inspired to work on my content more. Just feeling motivated, I guess, is maybe really the the correct term. Like I mean, obviously I've been doing like the shorts and stuff, but I kind of felt inspired to do long form content again. And I felt good about trying to figure out the algorithm like I used to, instead of getting completely crushed by not understanding it. So it wasn't like a generic, like, yes, this is exactly what I should be doing. It's more, I feel excited about the prospect of figuring it out. That makes sense? I do like the idea of making something for smaller streamers and then like rating them with the thing. I think that would be kind of fun, but I also don't think that is necessarily so you have to be small streamers, to be honest, but I don't necessarily think that's like on brand per se, which is kind of like whatever. I summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. Wait, no, wrong game. Yeah. I summon Blue Eyes White Golem. Wait. Oh, good, you're still alive. Yes, for probably another 15 minutes. And then I'm probably gonna get off. We literally didn't do any AAE stuff today. This is a deceptive title, but I think you need to get in contact before you do it. At least a little bit. I don't even necessarily say like talk to them. I think I would just need to like look at them, see if they have a Discord server, watch them for a bit, understand who they are, and then like I can do some reconnaissance, you know? But I don't think I would, and I could talk to him, but I wouldn't be like, hey, I'm an artist, you know? I'd just be like, hey, by the way, surprise. Imagine spend 3 days on a graphic and they're like, this has nothing to do with me. Yeah, true. Well, here's the nice thing. Honestly, I'd probably do it. I'd probably do that with like VTubers mostly, because VTubers have very iconic branding, whereas like a dude on stream is kind of just like meh, you know, like you know, just like any person streaming usually doesn't have super branded stuff, whereas VTubers are very like, they have to be very brand focused, and so it'd be easy to make like a motion graphic sort of thing for someone like that. You know what I mean? Granted, I think if you have a better handle on who they are, it is you can make a much better product per se, you know? I don't know though. I don't know if that's actually something I do. I do kind of want to do it, but I also don't know how well it would really go. Or like if it would even be something I should put on my channel. Like how far out of relation can you go from your own content before it's like too much? Like, yeah, I'm very capable of doing it, but like how far can I go before it's like, this isn't like a Beats video anymore? It's worth trying though. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it could just be like, you know, I think it also might take more than one stream. Like saying like, oh yeah, I'll make a cool motion graphics in one stream is kind of maybe crazy to assume, right? Doesn't matter for the stream because you're here anyways. Yeah. So, could be fun. I don't know. Just an idea. That is like the only like content idea outside of armies that I'm like, that would be cool. So reaction videos can do everything. I don't really want to do reaction stuff though, honestly. I just don't think it's like not why I'm here, you know? I rewatch all of your videos a dozen times because I like the content though, not because you're in them. Yeah, that's fair. So what you're saying is basically it's well written. Is that what I'm getting? But yeah, I think I could probably try to relate the content to the stream, and that is the biggest takeaway from all this, the video content from the stream, or use the stream to make the video content. And maybe we'll specifically try that, like, one of these days coming up. Maybe I'll specifically do, like a play test. Maybe that's the missing link. You're in these streams, but you're not the focus of the videos. Could be it. I guess that's true, right? Like, it's not a story about me, but that might be just like how I preface it, right? I'm not like the bridge video is like, this card almost destroyed the game. It's like, it's less about like how I struggled and more just the struggle of the design, right? It's not like I was distraught and almost died from from this bridge almost ruining the game, you know? It's like it doesn't have to do with me. So yeah, maybe I need to insert myself more. I don't know. But that also, again, like, doesn't have the content that, I don't know. I think it's not even just the missing link though, right? It's the problem isn't necessarily just how it relates. That's one factor. The other factor is like, I'm not using my stream to help my videos. Oh, the bridge almost killed you? Yeah, dude. Almost collapsed on top of me. I almost gave up because of this card. I don't know. Those are all just my random thoughts. Could be a cool stream to do though, just as like a random break. It can relate, but doesn't mean it will feed into each other. Yeah, I think the thing is, like, I should be making my content on stream so I don't have to my stream content should be my video content if I want to keep streaming, which I'm pretty sure I do. I enjoy it, you know? I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I think the biggest thing I enjoy about streaming though is just like interacting with people and being able to like work on stuff together, which maybe I can get that from somewhere else too, right? Which sounds, I don't want it to like sound like I you know, don't want to be here or anything. But I think you know what I mean, right? Like, I don't know. I got to figure out where I'm going, what my avenue is. How do I get there? What is this tool even? Oh, interesting. What the heck? Oh. Sorry, I just saw some features on here that I did not know what they are. Oh, it's generating something. Oh, variations? Weird. You're saying if you were doing this just to interact with people here, you could do that some other way off stream too. Yeah, like I could just be like, maybe, you know, actually like video editing and be like someone's video editor. Like I could do that. That could just be my thing, you know? I don't have, like, I also, like, I guess, like, I don't have to be part of the spotlight necessarily. I do like it. I do like being able to nerd out about the shit I like to talk about, because I feel like a lot of my life I have, like, felt like I had to talk to people about their interests and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So it's nice to be able to, like, talk about my own stuff. Could always target a demographic and post your thumbnails up with waifus. Hell yeah. Time to start drawing waifus. The spotlight has to be on me. That's true. Yes, has to be on Tuna. Tuna, when are you going to become a streamer? Didn't someone here say they were going to be a streamer? Someone said they were going to consider it. I can't remember who it was. I know Adonimus has done it, but I thought someone else was saying that they were going to, or like were tempted to. Was it Tuna? I don't remember. Anyway, I don't know. That was a lot of yap. I'm trying to think if I have any other thoughts. I mean, I think I just have to figure out where the connections are, where to go from here. Because like if I wanted to just do my videos and like focus on them, I almost think like if I wanted to do more videos the way I did them, like, I don't know, any of the ones that have performed well, right? Or even some of the ones that haven't, like even doing like the do games need story and that kind of stuff, I'd probably be better off just not streaming. You know? Just cause like, what is the, like, unless I start streaming like video, like the actual video editing content, I could. I don't know. I gotta ask myself that, right? Like that's something I need to kind of figure out for myself. I don't think that's the answer, because I really do like streaming. But I also like the content of those videos I make more. So it's just like, it's hard to say. I think I would probably feel way too isolated if I didn't do streaming. Maybe I can find a way to do both, but I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling now. I'm unsure of the solution. If it was a small part, I think it would be fine. What do you mean? Sorry. I lost the context of what I said again. Classic beats, losing the context. So I'm scrolling through some of my old videos now. It would give you a break when you feel you need one pre-made content you could play. Yeah, I guess that's true. I could just stop streaming for a while, right? Like I could be like, I'm gonna take a month off and work on my videos. It's true. That could be a thing. I don't think I would stop full time either if I really wanted to focus on it. I think I'd probably just cut out the weekday ones and only stream on the weekend or something. Big windstorm coming my way, so you know if I stop talking. Okay, don't die. Don't die, Tuna. Or even just a week if you needed to focus on it. And yeah, that's true. That's true. I do have a video. It's like kind of about... I'm the piggy in the brick house. Okay, that's good. Whew. I do have a video I recorded forever ago. It's probably like months ago now. That I think is pretty decent. I just haven't had the like... I haven't had it in me to like actually edit it, to be honest. Board Game Bard, hello, hello, hello. I'm probably not going to be here too much longer, but welcome on in. We're kind of just yapping about the YouTube side of things. Or just honestly the content creation cycle kind of deal. We talked about the playtest at the beginning, and then we've kind of just been yapping all day. I'm kind of trying to figure out what my game plan is, because I don't know. I've been feeling directionless for a while, but oh, interesting. Sorry, I'm just looking. It's interesting that you said this said it earlier about playlist, but there's apparently a channel option that you can create a new show. Create a new show or set an existing playlist as a show. I don't know what that is. What are you? Organize your videos into seasons and episodes. You can also add metadata like descriptions and artwork for the show. Interesting. I think they're trying to like make it so you can have multiple shows on one channel. That's interesting. But yeah, thank you for being here, Board Game Bard. Thank you for showing up. We just kind of yapping today. It's a big old yap session. Trying to figure out where it all goes. But yeah, honestly, I think we're actually about at time now. I've been going for 3 hours, and I think I'm going to go and always the yap session when I'm here. I actually like yap streams a lot of the time. Which is always fair. Yeah, I think we're probably just gonna raid someone, and then I'm gonna go try to promote my game in real life. Wraithlings next time? I think so. That's what I was going to do today, and I need to get that yap out of me. It transforms your playlist or fresh videos into polished TV-style shows with seasons, episodes, dedicated show page, and premiere visibility like recommended shows, and seamless continue. Interesting. I'll have to check that out. That does seem interesting. It sounds like they're trying to be Netflix, kind of. Anyone, any ideas on who to raid? Jesus. Sorry, don't mind me. Speaking of waifus, you know what I mean? That's what the interwebs tells me. Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I'll have to see how it goes. You know, we rated this person before, but it's been a while, so let's just go ahead and do it. I think this is a, this is from, what's her name, right? What's the Apothecary Diaries? It's good art. Oh, they're also hanging out with someone else who's doing something else. Gotcha, understood. They're doing a free written thing. Two great anime shows that we will raid this person who they're looking at. So we're gonna do that. See what I say. Safe. Thank you, dude. You two don't get blown over by a windstorm. Yeah, I'm gonna try to promote my game a little bit. In the real world, maybe meet some real people. Yeah, should be good. And then what are we doing next time? Oh yeah, we'll be drawing next time for sure. Definitely doing more art. Because we only have what, like eight or 9 cards left, I think. So later days. Good luck. Thank you. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know how much of like a social gathering it's really going to be to like relate, but yeah, we'll get our cards done next time. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you all. Thank you for listening to me yap. And I will see you all on Tuesday, right? Is that when I stream? I stream on Tuesday, right? Yeah. All right, guys. See ya. Bye.